we got it all sorted now. Hey boys, Redeye. Um, Corbin and I just finished Blackadder. So I've obviously seen it before, but Corbin's first time watching through it. Yeah, fucking my connection's being shit right now. Um, I have it on Wi-Fi, which double-edged sword on that because the Wi-Fi loses connection. So now it's not actually on Wi-Fi because it disconnected because the Wi-Fi's been really shit lately. So anyway, as I was saying, Corbin and I just finished Blackadder. Again, I've seen it multiple times before. But it's one of the most iconic British comedies. And it's short. It's very short. It's only 27 episodes if you include the specials. 28 if you include the unaired pilot. And we did all of it. We did the specials and the unaired pilot as well. I think this is going out a little bit. There we go. Yeah, I love that show. Blackadder Season 1 is my favorite, which is controversial. A lot of people don't like Season 1, especially in the UK. But I like Season 1. Season 2 has the coolest version of the character himself. Just thought we'd start with that. Maybe talk about some Telltale games, because I played Season 3 of The Walking Dead. Sorry, Season 4. Season 4, Episode 3 of The Walking Dead last night. I also beat the base game of Duke Nukem Forever once again. So now I'm playing through the DLC again. But with Telltale games, right? The Walking Dead, I think, is probably their best one, but Wolf Among Us is really good. Like, Bigby, I think, is their best protagonist. And Wolf Among Us is considerably better than the comic that it's based on, Fables. Like, I know it's a prequel to Fables, but I have a few volumes of Fables, and I've kind of skimmed them, and I've seen a video comparing and contrasting the two. And I gotta say, like, Wolf Among Us is just way better. Like, Telltale improved on it in every way with the Wolf Among Us as a story. Way better. They do way more with the characters being fairy tales because they don't really do a whole hell of a lot with that in Fables, but in Wolf Among Us they do a lot with that. But apparently, you know, who knows if and when season 2 is finally going to come out of that, right? Because Wolf Among Us 2, they delayed it until this year, but then there's been all sorts of production problems. I watched this update video not too long before going live here. Actually, I think I watched it before Corbin and I finished off Blackadder tonight. Um, Other than that, I couldn't really think of a fun title for this one. I just kind of named it after those because those I knew would be two topics I'd be talking about. Hey, Redeye, how's your night going? It's going all right. Corbin and I finished watching Blackadder again. I watched a couple of videos on some Duke Nukem stuff. I'm going to play through the other Duke Nukem games because I own them too, but I need to finish the DLC for forever, even though the DLC can be kind of frustrating at times. I think I remember what I need to do. I think I need to move those metal boxes with the cranes and stack them. I think that's why I'm running into issues. I think I need to stack those boxes. So that might be a little bit of a pain in the ass, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But other than that, Theron is on Chapter 5 of Yick. He's getting pretty close. He finally did all the side quests. I was really hoping he would finish Chapter 5 last night. He didn't end up doing that. He just did all the side quests and all the monster dens. He hasn't even done all the spend time with your friends interactions yet, so still a ways to go on those. Also, before I went live with this, I did read another 2 chapters of the Abashiri family. So, getting through that again. I still plan to review that rather soon. So, gonna try to power through it as quick as I can, because I was blitzing through it at the start. Took a little bit of a hiatus on reading it, then read a little bit here and there. So now I'm finally getting back to it. I wonder what consoles Wolf Among Us 2 will be on. Since they're not really going to do Xbox One games anymore, I assume it's going to be Series X exclusive with that. So if that's the case, I might just go the route and get PS4 if it's on PS4. But I guess we'll see. Um, if and when that game ever actually fucking comes out, because, the delay is always going to keep happening, but I think it is better to delay it than to have it be bad, or to have a crunch that would make it rushed. Because there are some glitches in the Wolf Among Us that do exist. Like the no what is it? It's like this option is blank, or this choice is blank, or something like that. That glitch. You should play Wolf Among Us. I already did. You saying I should again on stream? Because I did a stream. I did a playthrough of it on stream. And I wouldn't mind playing it again. Maybe this time be non-violent the whole time and be like a pushover instead of playing Bigby the way I played him the first time. But I have a lot more fun being an unpredictable fucking psycho that'll just fucking attack you at any opportunity, but also will sit down and be civil with you only to bash you in the head with a cup. Because that's how I play Bigby, the most unpredictable, scary version of him. But I should play it again. Do some different choices. Just like with how many playthroughs I did of Walking Dead, right? Because I did Walking Dead, and then I did Walking Dead, but I Hate Myself, and then I did Preparing for Season 3 because I wanted to go through and do Wellington so that Kenny wouldn't be dead in Season 3. And then on Rumble, I exclusively did Walking Dead, but I'm an inconsistent fuck. Like, I still haven't finished that one. But I did start that one on Rumble. I don't really upload to Rumble all that much anymore, do I? Fuck off. Every time there's a notification, too. Shut up, Jesus Christ. Holy hell, will he shut the fuck up? I'm gonna time him out if he keeps this up. Jesus. Who is it's Chisu? That's that's what I've been saying. He won't shut the hell up. Every time my Discord starts going off like crazy, you can pretty easily guess who the fuck it is. Surprised I haven't seen him on here yet. No, he's not on the stream. He's just not shutting up in Discord right now. He'll probably show up on the stream in a minute and be like, hey, Banana Swabber, I'm 85/93 done with this game. And then go to posting his ideas that I don't like to read. I need to read the Duke Nukem comics. I have them, but I haven't read them. Um, what else is there to talk about tonight? Oh, Razorfist comic is shipping soon, so I should get that soon. When I read that, I'll review it. I can't remember if I got a hardcover one or a softcover one, so that'll determine when mine comes, I guess. Let's see. Could be fun to like tell a story from my life. I just want to think of which ones, because that could be fun to do. You know, if I can think of anything interesting. Um, I got to do more tales from the drive-through as well. Um, let's see, what's a good story? Because I feel like that could be fun. I haven't done that enough in a minute, have I? Yeah, I haven't really done much recently either. Yeah. Um, you know what? I should go back to reading Godzilla NES, shouldn't I? I need to continue that. I've got what, 3 chapters left? Zenith, finale, and epilogue. Huh. I haven't shown any Tales from the Drive-Thru on Redeye Rerun, have I? That's something I should probably do. Um, should do the Sonic.exe creepypasta. I mean, yeah, I probably should. It's a classic. It's not great. It's pretty bad, honestly, but I should. Um, you guys remember Creepy Gaming with Mullet Mike? That was the shit back in the day. I remember when I was in high school, uh, there was like a weekend. I was hanging over at my grandma's house, right? And we were uh, we were watching. What was it? We stayed up late watching Creepy Gaming with like Mullet Mike back when he was on the Sticky Paddle before they had all their beef, and Rich Nificent got like mad that Mullet Mike was more popular than him on his channel, so he like chimped out, and they had a falling out because of that. Um, but I remember like the old seasons of Creepy Gaming were so much better than like the later seasons, because like the old seasons he'd always talk about, and like, granted there's only so much of this you can find, but he'd find stuff in like non-horror games that were really creepy. Sometimes I remember him Creepy Gaming as You Got Me Into Creepy Stuff. Wait, as I did, or he did? I'm confused. uh but but Creepy Gaming was really good because like it had there was the episode where he talked about you know, the like Hell Valley sky trees in Mario Galaxy, which you know everybody's talked about at this point, or the creepy faces in Game Boy Camera, or like horror themed things and creepy stuff in non horror games. Like that was fun. I loved that era of YouTube was so nostalgic for me, because that also was when a lot of the early creepy pastas were coming out, and a lot of other stuff. I remember when Minecraft came out on 360. I remember I started playing it because everyone was playing it, and I think Danny bought it for me as a gift. Like he downloaded it, like he gave me Microsoft points to buy it because he wanted to try it. So we started playing it, and this was like way before they updated it. So like creative mode and shit wasn't in it yet because the 360 version started out very different. Same, I do really like Creepy Gaming. He was OG. Oh yeah, Mullet Mike was great, dude. And like the guy's basically retired from YouTube because he's got a family to raise and stuff, and I think that's cool. I respect that. That's another thing. Like people like freak out on James Rolfe because they say the fact that he has kids isn't an excuse. Um, but like I get that he is doing this as a job. Like I do think there is a decline in quality, and there are criticisms to be made. And I do think sometimes James can be a little funny with time. But I don't understand the hatred that some people have for him. Like like Red Cow Arcade, for instance. Like I like those guys. I like some of their videos on James Rolfe, even though I think that they're a little too overly harsh on him. Um, but at the same time, James Rolfe does have a big brand, and obviously cuts a lot of corners. Like he's clearly just half-assing it now. But the thing is, I still enjoy modern AVGM. Like I think I watched his newest episode. I think. Um, hey, Evie, how you doing, puppy? You being good? But like the old days of creepy gaming, you'd hear about like how weird of a game LSD Dream Emulator is, and that game is really fucking weird. Like it's usually like it has creepy moments, and it will like unpredictably become really weird. That can be kind of creepy, but like overall, it's a pretty benign game, I think. Very simplistic and crashes a lot, so you have to like make sure that you save frequently because it can be really frustrating when it crashes. Um, but yeah, that show Severance is really good that I watched with Theron. I did a whole raw review of that already, but that show's really good. Um, let's see. Um, one now that me and Corbin have finished Blackadder for Red Eye Theater, we'll probably do Red Dwarf. I'll probably just start it over, even though I technically started it on Red Eye Theater. Going back and rewatching the old episodes of Team Red Eye Versus for what's it called, for Red Eye Rerun makes me nostalgic, and it makes me miss the old days because this channel has changed so much. And like, granted, I still just do whatever the hell I want, but like it's like, I mean, there was a reason I divided into generations, right? Like the olden days of the channel was just me and my brothers and friends just getting together and having fun making videos. Whereas with current ones, that still happens from time to time, occasionally, I suppose. But not everybody wants to be involved in it anymore. There's conflicting schedules. But obviously now I've got Corbin that we do collaborations with that are fun. Does JonTron still make videos? I haven't watched his content in years. Yeah, he still does every once in a while. We've actually got a new Sergeant Friends that Corbin sent me most of the art for already. Um, but I haven't edited any of it yet. But it's a long one. It's called There Will Be Bears, and it's got a bunch of shit crammed into it. Like, it's a parody of There Will Be Blood, but it's got an American Psycho parody in it. It's got references to The Stepfather. It's also like combining two episode ideas, which granted, combining two episode ideas can really work out. because that's how Sausage Seth came to be, and I actually think that's one of the best episodes. We combined two ideas and do one on Seth Rogen turning himself into a sausage, Sausage Seth, and we just combined the two. Even though Sausage Seth is, can't wait to see it. Oh, it's going to be a fat minute, but I do need to edit it still. But it's got Theron in it again as Lobster Boy's wife. So this one, we originally planned to do an episode called Lobster Boy, and the whole point is there's going to be this lobster guy that was created with the crab people. When the Pedro Fiend created the crab people, he's like, I have crabs. And then the crab people come out. Lobster Boy was going to be one of them, but he didn't fit in with all the crab people because he was a... And we were going to make him, have this life, and all this horrible shit would happen, and then eventually Sarge and Pedro would cook him and eat him, and they'd throw him in the pot, and he'd be screaming in agony while being thrown in the pot, and then they'll be like, oh, no, it's just air escaping, and then they would debate whether or not lobsters feel pain, and then they'd realize that neither of them care if they do. And that's still in there, but it spiraled into so much more, because it also became a fucking parody of There Will Be Blood, but with Yogi and Boo Boo. But Lobster Boy happens in that, and Lobster Boy also becomes a parody of American Psycho, which takes up 10 minutes of the fucking episode. And it's just out of nowhere, too. Edit Rio Isn't Gay Part 3. I need to finish scripting and then record and edit my Clay Puppington video. I need to finish scripting Sarge Reviews Dirty Harry. I need to, there's so many things, so many cool ideas that I have and I start working on and I get really into. And then I just don't. My output on a lot of these cool ideas just doesn't follow through as much as I used to. And by doesn't, I mean I don't follow through as much as I used to. I too got many ideas? Yes, you do. And I would say you've got too many ideas, Chisu. How was your day, Chisu? What you been up to? Why don't you share with the class? Anything also preferably not gross? Oh no. But I beat Skies of Arcadia. Came in 7 out of 9th at Yu-Gi-Oh! And played 4 hours of Shenmue. Oh, okay, cool. I've never played Shenmue. I should probably give that a play sometime. I just know that there's that one scene where he's like, years ago, I was Chinese. It's on PS4 with the first 2 games? Oh, okay. Is it remastered or is it a straight port? Is it a remake or is it just an upscale? Remastered, but you can do the original? Okay. I've been playing a lot of Enlisted. It's one of the best World War II games I've played in a long while. Well, that's cool. World War II games that I played, mostly consisted of, I played Call of Duty 1. I played World at War, obviously. I played quite a few of the Call of Duty games, actually, now that I think about it. The last one that I played, extensively was Black Ops 2. But, all the early Call of Duty games were World War II, right? Because, that was the popular one to do. I don't think I've done World War II games, really. I would say my favorite World War II game, though, hands down, Wolfenstein 3D, without question, right? That game is fucking great. And Wolfenstein 2009 is underrated. And Wolfenstein, The New Order is pretty good too. Wolfenstein versus Blackenstein. Okay. You know, Wolfenstein 3D was actually the first video game I ever played. I played it when I was 5. My dad had it on his work computer in his office on a floppy disk, and that's how I played it. He had an old DOS computer with a floppy disk. Oh, I recently made Hybrid a moderator in the Discord, so that's pretty cool. I like Hybrid. I've been too mean to him in the past. Hybrid's a great guy. He's just a bit eccentric. And he's very much his own person. Like, there's nobody quite like Hybrid, but he's great. He's pretty good. He's got a nice attitude. Yeah, Hybrid's great. That's why I really have enjoyed watching, Naruto and stuff with him for Red Eye Theater. And Redo Healer, of course. Um, Return to Castle Wolfenstein is also a pretty good game. It's one of my favorites. I need to play more of that. I played a little bit of it a long time ago, very briefly. Not enough to really, have extensive memories of it or anything. I do have it, though, so I should play it. But yeah, I'm on chapter 27 of Abashiri Family now. Like I said, I said 2 chapters at the start of the stream, but I think I actually only read 1 chapter tonight, but it was a long one. Well, it wasn't that long. It was 73. Like they actually have much longer chapters. The chapters vary pretty greatly in length in Abashiri Family. I'll tell you this, though. Abashiri Family, there's no way in hell that comic is ever going to get a US release, like, ever, clearly. Like, there's no way in hell. Like, there's no way that would fly over here now. Like, the fucking shit that happens in that comic is pretty nuts. That game scared me as a kid because of all the zombies? Wait, which game? Return to Castle Wolfenstein? Does that have zombies in it? Like, I know Operation Eisenfaust has, like, those zombie cyborgs and shit in Wolfenstein 3D, so I guess that shouldn't be too surprising, but... All the wiener cleaners, finding cool things, wiener cleaners. See, Chisu? That works. When you're short and sweet and you just make a little joke like that, that can work. Kind of like when you say gender offenders and shit like that. Like, you have your moments, but, sometimes you don't. Let's see. There's more things I need to play and review or watch and review as well. There's a lot of reviews I should probably do. I need to do my monthly movie recap and my reviews. Slag on Wikipedia and make a long list of names like wiener, cleaner, gender offender, cripple, nipple. Okay. And like I rag on you for your like obsession with Kaiser Neko, but I do like that you call him Lord Sodom Bottom. That's kind of funny. Like you overuse the Sodom thing. You should also get back into Postal. Yeah, yeah. I need to do more because I'm gonna review every Postal. And if you don't know, I'm recording that review in stages. I've technically already reviewed Postal 1, 2, 3, Paradise Lost, Corkscrew Rules, and I'm currently and Apocalypse Weekend, and I'm working on reviewing, or I'm working on. I did do a stream of Eternal Damnation, but I need to recut that because that stream is currently not up anymore. I need to recut and re-upload that. You ought to review more Gona Guy and Ken Ishika crap. Ken Ishika is the guy, or is it Ishika or Ishikawa? It just says Ishika, but I think it's Ishikawa, right? Like, that's the guy who did Hanape Bazooka, right? With Gona Guy, and also, am I wrong on that? No, that Ken Ishikawa did Get a Robo with Gona Guy, right? It was Get a Robo. Or did he also do Hanape Bazooka? I mix up a few different people that aren't Gona Guy who are involved in this work, because there's that guy who did Mad Bull 34 who's also done stuff with him, I think. He did Get a Robo and was Gona Guy's best friend. Okay, yeah, I thought so. But didn't the creator of Mad Bull 34 help with Hanape Bazooka? That's what it was, right? Like, that's what I'm mixing together. Mad Bull guy only did Hanape Bazooka. Okay. With Gona Guy, right. Is the Hanape Bazooka manga good? Is it something I guess I should check it out, right? The guy also did a manga of Dante's Inferno. Yeah, I'm aware of that. Mostly untranslated, but I saw the raws and it's something you'd like. What, the Dante's Inferno one? Chicks being boned and beat? I mean, you got me there. I mean, fucking women getting beat, that's pretty cool. That's pretty based. Hanape Bazooka. Oh, Hanape Bazooka has that. Oh, well, yeah, I guess I need to rewatch the Hanape Bazooka OVA as well, because I fucking hated it the first time I've seen it, but, like, I've watched a lot more shit now that's much crazier, that I still think the character motivations are kind of stupid, but the thing is, and, here's the thing, right? Gona Guy is my favorite manga author. He's a little wacky with his writing, though. Like, some of his shit just says fuck pacing and just goes... And I love it. It's nuts. Like, Gona Guy has a lot of crazy shit that just happens, and I love it. Like, Violence Jack, for instance, gets fucking off the walls and crazy in the second half. Abashiri that the entire time. The entire manga of Abashiri Family is fucking nuts, and I love it. Abashiri Family also doesn't really care what genre it is. It just does what it wants. Like, sometimes it's pirates, sometimes it's the sports, you know, with the Olympic stuff. Sometimes it's a Western, sometimes... Like, Abashiri Family's nuts. It's great. You ought to read and review the OVAs of Magical Beast Front. It's Ken Ishikawa kind of doing Devilman. Yeah, you've told me about that, and I've been meaning to. I know you sent them to me forever ago to watch, and then I just didn't. Like, I know, like, what, like, because you were like, oh, while you're banned on YouTube, you should take your time to watch this, and instead I just streamed Fallout a bunch on Rumble. And by banned, I obviously mean suspended, because I've never been full-on banned. I've only ever had a suspension. But here's the thing: with my suspensions I've gotten, I have won almost every dispute. Okay, sorry, the connection dropped again. Um, so as I was saying, there's only ever been 2 disputes that I didn't win, and out of all the fucking disputes I've done, the fact that I only lost 2 of them is pretty great. I've had a very good track record with YouTube. All right, fuck it. I'll read this one. I'll be generous. They whine of Columbus, Confederate John A. MacDonald doing things guys now hate. What if we used their logic? They did right at the time, but science changed. I mean, there's a lot of things that culturally that were just fine before, and everyone likes to pretend they're not, like that they never were, and like I think a lot of people like to pretend that. Like for instance, right, back in the day, you had things like Girls Gone Wild, where guys would just walk up to chicks and be like, "Hey, I'll give you $100 if you take your top off," or like, "Hey, I'll give you $100 if you make out with this other chick," like shit like that, right? That was, and like they'd run infomercials of that late at night on cable TV, where it would be that, but like censored. They just have like stars over the nipples and stuff. Um, and when I was younger, I used to watch those infomercials all the fucking time. But like people act like all these things that were just culturally normal are like somehow like bad. Like, women being feminine. Like what the hell happened to that? Like why is that somehow a negative? Like I mean you still get that in some works that are like independent or Japanese. But even then it's lesser now than it used to be. But there's all these people who like chimp out when they hear someone say like a slur and they're like, "Oh, I can't believe they said that word. They said the N word. What the hell?" But it's like, have you guys never played like Xbox Live back in the day? Like, did you guys not play fucking Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 or Halo 3? Where a little kid told you he fucked your mom and then called you a nigger? Like, have you never had that happen? Yeah, people just like to argue over absolutely nothing. Yeah, exactly. Like, people like to pretend that they're these like they have the moral high ground, that they'd never stooped to all these other things, this objectification and these slurs and these fucking like insensitivity and shit like that. It's like, dude, have you ever existed like as a person like in the world? Period. As I've said, there's literally conversations that I had with coworkers at McDonald's that I cannot repeat on YouTube because of terms of service. By it. Well, yeah, I mean, faggot was like the most common word when I was coming up. I still use faggot quite a bit, actually. Whatever, you know. Now, like I said, that's how I used to greet people at work, and everyone would reciprocate it. And this was only just a few years ago, just like maybe 5, 6 years ago. People are devolving. I agree. Everyone's got their fucking, like, their righteous causes and their moral outrage, and they're fucking chimping out, going totally nuts. This thing is getting harder to hold without burning my fucking fingers. Imagine if Jefferson Davis got triggered by England in the 1860s because they might come back. Jefferson Davis? Like the guy from the Civil War? For 1776? What, you're saying, like, if Jefferson Davis, president of the Confederacy, thought the British were going to come back in the 1860s? See, burn my lip there, because it's so fucking... Yeah, like, people are afraid of Nazis now. Alright, I think we're gonna take this show inside, yeah? Struggling to put my shoes... Fucking hell. I just loved burning myself on these. It's my favorite, I tell you. Coming soon, the MLP version of box office hit Kloppenheimer. Uh-huh. Now, where's that representation? Am I right? Alright, sorry about that. The stream cut out again. Again, connection issues all around tonight. GC, you're obsessed with that whole transformation fetish thing. You bring that up like a lot. As if it's like a super common fetish. It's funny because I used to be on 4chan and it was around, yeah. I mean, 4chan has all sorts of degeneracy. Just, like, people on 4chan are better than a lot of the degenerates you'll see online now. Although, there's a lot of 4chan memes that are absolutely not YouTube friendly. And 4chan's had a lot of bad things too, don't get me wrong, obviously. Huh. But no, the internet used to be fucking cool. And also horrible, but in a much better way. Like when you'd get like a bait and switch where you'd see like fucking Goatsy or like rotten.com or shit like that. Like, I'm not saying those are pleasant things, but I'd take that era of the internet over yeah, over what we got now. I liked how 4chan used to draw my silly crap. Well, they'd probably get bored of you after a while with how repetitive some of your ideas are, but that's cool, I guess. But then again, 4chan is a bunch of fucking autists. Like, it's a bunch of fucking